Hello one and all, and welcome to Behind the Glass, your weekly automotive podcast hosted by two rather uninformed enthusiasts.
No.
I'm Sam from the YouTube channel Seen Through Glass.
I'm Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales.
And you can watch us each week. We hope you enjoy the episode. It's boring, it's the obvious choice, but therefore, actually sometimes it's... I'm sorry, I'm in my head. What have you done?
Imposter syndrome?
Yeah, a little bit.
Brilliant.
There's like a builder over there.
That's not the reason.
No, he's throwing stuff out of a window and he's just been distracting me and throwing me off. And I'm not feeling it. Oh my God.
You start again?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with me today. But I've been looking at everything else and not really thinking what was in my brain. So I was like watching this and I was watching you and I was watching up there and I wasn't really thinking about anything.
But
so
we're really actually going to start again?
Yeah, when it came to my time.
You are
to talk.
joking?
No, I'm not joking. Disaster.
Oh.
It's only 5 minutes. Get over yourself. Oh, now this I am obsessed by.
You are joking.
Who has the purple Evora?
I know who has it because I've seen it.
Yeah, that is just silver rims, yellow brake calipers. Is it a variant? Am I looking at a GT 410 or anything, or
Sport 410?
Sport 410? That sounds the bomb, huh? Does all of your stuff?
Bomb. It's going to blow up like one.
Does all of your stuff cook in the boot? Can you ever put anything back there?
Yeah, it's okay. I've got most things I put behind the back seat because there are no back seats in it.
Exactly. You get that shelf, right? I think that's a great car. I spent that summer in one. I think it's fantastic. That colour is that paint or a wrap?
Yeah, it's paint. PTS, multi-colour.
Oh, look at PTS on an Evora.
It's one of the worst cars I've ever seen.
Oh, now this we've just got to talk about. Everyone, I hope, saw this. And I'm going to need some help because my knowledge of this Clio is lacking.
Well, hold on a minute.
Go on, what are you
Can I just say, I don't think that's one car. No. I think that's like a cut and shut. Is that a cat? I mean, should that be on the road?
It was a Cat S, wasn't it? So where's the owner? Here he is, you're a brave man. I mean, as I walked up to this car, you were putting parts back on that had fallen off on the way here. I've got that photo, so let me scroll up. Look, there he is, putting something back on. Okay, just nice and loud, please, because there is a microphone somewhere. Just tell me the story very quickly.
Bought it about a month ago, Cat S right off to track it basically, and turned into a potato.
I mean, did you put any of those parts back on, or that's just how you picked it up? Or
I picked it up, drove it back to London.
The bumper is held on with bungee cords.
Yeah.
Wait, stop. You're going to go on track in that car? Are you well? Seriously? In a Cat S? Yes. Well, you knew where you're going to go left or right and the thing will just go straight because the wheel's going to fall off. I mean, that is actually not funny.
It's lightweight. When some of those panels fall off halfway around the lap, he's saving weight, isn't he? It's kind of genius. I mean, you are the bravest man in the world bringing that to this event.
Yeah.
But also an absolute legend for driving it around.
Yeah.
And embracing the horror that it is. But I just think it's great. It literally looks like junkyard crap, but in the best way possible. If I saw that on the motorway, I would be terrified it would be about to explode.
What? How much did you pay for it?
1,500 quid.
1,500 quid?
1,500?
Yes.
Not 150?
Or not 15?
Oh my God, they saw you coming, didn't they?
Just as a reference point, I paid £900 for Ivan the Volvo, who you saw multiple times.
No, I'd rather have that.
Oh, that's so... Ivan the Volvo did have a spider's nest living in the front of the car.
Yeah.
I mean, bravo. Are you doing any Brands Hatch track days?
No, I lived in it as well, so...
Okay.
Can you tell me when you're going on track next and I'll make sure I'm nowhere near it?
I'm embarrassed to admit both of us saw this car and didn't know what it was. I liked it. Tony went, I don't know what. It's this, which we think is a Triumph, the little blue GT something, right at the back. Tell me everything. What model?
It's a GT6.
And is it a Triumph?
It is a Triumph, yeah.
I thought it was a gloriously looking car. What did you say, Tony?
That's the worst car I've ever seen.
What you don't know is that man's in the army, so do you want to change your answer?
No, well, I've already met him. He's a very nice man. But I would like to change my answer because I think he's got some muscles. And
He'll turn up outside your house with a tank.
where's the AA truck? Because you're not going to get home in that. Is that coming?
He didn't come far, I don't think.
You didn't come far?
But I think on a sunny day like today, that's a glorious little car. Beautiful blue, nice little seats. It must be quite cosy in there.
Nice little seats.
Nice little seats.
For who?
For whoever's driving it. It's like a nice place to be. Nice little.
Can you elaborate on nice little seats? Like comfortable, or they look nice?
They
or
look
what
like-
is
they
going on
look-
about
they
them?
look-
Nice little seats.
They look comfortable and well maintained. You know, so it'd be nice to sit in that car and
Okay.
poodle along the Yorkshire Dales. What
Are
was
they
that?
nice little seats?
No, I don't think
Straight answer is no. Uncomfortable?
it's falling apart. Though.
Falling apart, right? I didn't look clearly
It
enough.
looked like it's falling apart, to be fair.
So, kick us off. Remind everyone quickly what your first car was.
My first car was a white Austin Maestro,
Good luck, Ben, finding an image of that to put
which
on the
is
overlay.
a full-on disaster. Basically, it was a manual 1.3, and I actually had a brown one before then.
Oh, Brown. Bring Brown back.
But I didn't have a driving licence then, so that was the car I used to take to school, and I'd run a corner for my mum, and I used to drive to school in it. But I was like 15 or 16, so that's. I didn't
How much did they cost? How did you get that car?
like a few hundred quid, mate.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
I worked at 15.
Sure, I remember you saying.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, I went to work. I had.
It
some
wasn't an expensive car.
money. No. And the brown one I had. I'll tell you a little bit of a funny story. Just going off topic. I got chased round my estate by the police at 11 o'clock at night
No.
because it had no headlights. So I was driving it round my estate at night time. I lived on a council
Yeah.
estate, and I was driving it round the estate in the middle of the night, and the police were coming the other way, and I've come bombing up round the corner, and they've had to swerve into a thing, and then I thought, oh shit, it's the police. So I knew the state. I drove it on the field. I dumped it off. I run off.
God,
I
you're
run
like
off
police interceptors. I love it. Chasing a male. Yeah.
So, but I had to, mate, because I mean, I wasn't. I
But
should have
surely
been
at
in
that
bed.
point you would have got penalty points. Like,
No. I mean, I didn't want to get penalty points. I mean, I should have been in bed. I had school the next day. So, but it was like hilarious. And I remember running down the horses field, and I used to run across the horses field and down the steps and back home because the car wasn't registered to me. It was a hell of a long time ago.
Oh
and
my
as well, I'll
God.
tell you another story. I used to work Saturday at the bus garage. At the time, we still had old tax discs. And obviously, I couldn't have insurance, so I couldn't tax the car. So I nicked a disc out of the bus and stuck it on the car. So anyway, I've got loads of stories like that, but that's just a story.
Sure.
But my first car, and it was probably influenced by that car, was a white Austin Maestro.
how long did you have it?
Oh, not long. I probably blew it up, and then I had I went from that to a 2.3. It was gold as well.
Oh, look at you and your strong colour choices at the
know.
start of your life. What happened to you?
This car was like 200 quid though, so you can imagine. It was a 2.3 gear Ford Sierra hatchback, so it's like a 5-door thing.
But wait, you didn't blow up the Maestro or anything like that?
I honestly think it caught fire.
Oh.
Like, I honestly think like it
did die.
It
You
did
didn't
die.
choose to change the car. It died.
No, it died.
Okay.
It was like 150 quid, mate. I mean, when I was young, you could easily buy a car 150 quid. And then I had the Ford Sierra, and I remember putting a sound system in that car, the sound system being worth more than the car, and it just shook all the while. You know, I had two big, like in my day, we had big bass amp things that you just force in the back of the boot, and you couldn't get anything in the boot at all apart from these two big.
Sound like when I had that Abarth. Remember when I made Abarth?
Yes. So that was my second car, and then I think I had a Cavalier. That was green.
Oh,
I had a green, because I didn't care about colour. I just wanted a car.
Sure.
Because I
You
didn't
ended
have
up
any
with
money.
great colours.
I just had like these weird cars. I had a green.
No one else wanted.
Yeah. Because they were cheap. So it was all about money. Because I didn't have none. And I had a green Cavalier. And then from there, and then I got a bit braver. Oh, no, mate. Flipping hell. I had an E30. Yeah, this was after the Cavalier. I had an E30 325 M Sport BMW.
Hello.
Yeah.
That must have been a lovely bit of kit.
That was the only car,
Touch wood.
to this day, I've written off.
Oh,
I crashed it into a skip.
did you?
My mate nearly went through the windscreen.
No.
Yeah, his head hit the windscreen.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I was going around a blind corner, flat out,
Thinking
and a
you
van
were-
would come down the other way, and it was the van or the skip, and I hit the skip.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Now, coming on to, still, to this day, one of my favourite YouTubers ever, on YouTube and as an individual, James the Stradman. I've spoken to you about him before.
Yeah. I actually know who he is.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Top lad.
Yeah. I've never met him, but I know of him. I know who he is.
Genuinely one of the nicest human beings on the line.
Yeah.
Is building the most insane house at the moment. That's an interesting series to follow. But we have to talk about his cars because he actually is now, I think, building a pretty incredible collection. I have lost track of what is included in it, even though I watch pretty much all his content. But to recap, thanks to Rishi once again, we've got Bugatti Veyron with that insane bespoke exhaust from, anyway, mad exhaust. I think he's trying to sell it. I think he's always trying to sell it. Anyway,
The exhaust?
No, the car.
Oh.
911 Safari. What Safari does the Stradman have?
That is really good.
You like that?
Yes.
An actual old 911 Safari, not
No,
the new
actually-
992 one.
No.
You were taking the piss. I just didn't calm down quickly enough today. So apparently, I totally missed.
He's
this
got an
with
Urus.
James. Oh, he's got a lot of things. So yeah. So okay, let me keep running through it. So yeah, 911 Safari, Ford Ranger Raptor, Jeep Rubicon 6x6, which he's converted to have 6 wheels. Six. Yeah.
Raptor's cool.
Okay, but the Ranger Raptor's cool.
Yeah.
458 Spider Liberty Walk,
Not interested.
Corvette C8 Liberty
Not
Walk,
interested.
Aventador Coupe,
Not interested.
Aventador Roadster Liberty Walk,
Not interested.
Murcielago 40th Anniversary Manual,
Absolutely would rather walk.
Gallardo Manual, which I think he's trying to twin turbo or has twin turboed,
Would rather crawl.
Lamborghini Urus,
Love it.
Lamborghini Countach,
No.
I think the Supra he sold, and GTR I think he sold. Oh no, GTR 1400 wheel horsepower GTR.
35. R35.
R35, 1400 wheel horsepower GTR. So yeah, I had lost track a little bit. I thought I was more across what he had. You've got to look at this Liberty Walk Aventador though. Hold on a sec.
Do I have to?
Look at that, mate. Pink. Look at that.
No.
Look at that. What is going on there?
No.
I mean, insanity. And then there's Veyron. Look at the colour of it. Hold on. Boom.
The car, yes. The colour, no. So the Veyron and the Urus.
Is what you take.
He's probably not done the Urus justice, has he? Probably larried that up as well, was he?
No,
Judging-
he's just put a nice wrap on it, actually. I have to say, the Urus he hasn't done anything too crazy for. Maybe he's got plans.
Liberty Walk, by the sounds of
text him and
things.
find out. Oh, that's a video now. Yeah, probably Liberty. God, a Liberty Walk Urus would be insane. This, the big moment, is when we said, should we swap cars for a bit?
Yeah, that's what we said, didn't it?
So did you do this because you were genuinely interested in what my car would be like, or because you thought it'd be good content, or like where did this kind of motivation come from?
I wanted to drive it.
Just wanted to see what all the fuss is about.
I just wanted you bang on about it for 4 years, how good you are now, I'm in love with it. And actually, to be fair to you, I really appreciate you letting me drive it because it's your pride and joy.
It really is.
You don't let many people
No,
drive
I was just trying to
your
think
cars.
who else has ever driven it, actually.
Yeah, well, I know there's not many people, so I thank you for letting me drive in it. It was an eye opener, especially when I went to hit the brakes. But so first of all, we said let's swap over. Let's swap over cars. We had our coffee. Let's swap over cars. Okay, no problem. Flipping hell, what have I said? Why have I said yes?
Well, hold on a sec. So what were your expectations?
Well, not
Because
a lot.
also, can I just jump in here? Because we've spoken about this quite a lot since that drive and recording right now. Please do not become Tony from Gravelwood and ham things up and think, I'm going to crack everyone up here. I'm going to say what they want me to say. I'm going to be outspoken. I'm
gonna tell the truth, mate.
Yes, for the first time ever on this show.
I always tell the truth. on
I
this
think the
podcast.
audience have proven that's not the case.
Well, that's a lie because I always try to
And
tell
you're
the
always
truth.
right. So
Correct.
So yeah, what were your expectations?
Well, I didn't have, and I have actually had a 360. It was an F1 car. It was a
Spider, right?
Spider. It was a very, very long time ago, and I had a 430 as well. And obviously, it was such a long time ago. I couldn't remember how it drove. Gets in this car, looking around for the seatbelt. There's no seatbelt. He said, "Oh, mate, you could do the harnesses." I said, "What?"
But how have you not noticed that? By this point, we've been on the road for 2.5 days. You've seen that car plenty of times.
Yeah, but I'm
only ever wearing harnesses.
No, but I just assumed you might have had a lap belt as well. I just assumed that.
I kind of wish I did, but no.
Yeah, well, so did I. So I gets in this car. I've moved the seat. I've then got to do the harnesses. He says you might have to tighten them up as you go because they come loose. So I spent 3 minutes trying to tighten them up. It would have been 5 minutes if you hadn't have helped me. Anyway, gets in. Goes to start it. Oh no, mate, you've got to press the immobiliser button.
You're saying it like that's like a huge thing.
No.
That's such a common thing.
No, I'm thinking, why has he got the motor? Who's going to want to steal this?
I mean.
So anyway, piston starts up, and then it starts up, and it cranks up, and I thought, nice, Ferrari. I'm in a Ferrari. We pulls away, and from what I remember, I thought, not your car, but I always thought old Ferraris had an awkward, not so good clutch. And I pulls away, and I thought, well, it's not so bad. It's fine. Anyway, we gets going. And bearing in mind, by the way, I had your car, to be fair to you, and I'm not just saying this, you're my friend, you have got one of, if not the best 360 around, right? So I'm driving and in the best example. I personally haven't seen a better 360 than what you've got. So I am driving the best example. So pulls away. We drive up the road. I come out the turning. I pull out. I put my foot down. Nothing happens. No, wait. No. Let me speak. And then this big bark, this Ferrari bark, and I start driving down the road and I start smiling. And I'm thinking, I'm in a Ferrari. So first and foremost, no matter what I think about the car, good or bad, I'm in a Ferrari. So I instantly start smiling. It's still a Ferrari, right? So we get going. We drive down the road. We started to push on a bit. We were a bit steady first 5 minutes, as in. Then we started to get going, and I'm up and down the gears, and I'm starting to come round, and I'm thinking, well, I get it. I completely understand why he loves this car. It's a Ferrari. It still drives like a Ferrari. It still turns like a Ferrari. It's still got them characteristics. And then we push on a little bit more. We start to go a little bit faster. And then we goes into what I can only describe as quite a fast corner. You was a little bit up ahead. And we was momentum was...
We were moving.
We were moving, yeah. And I goes into this corner fairly briskly. And it went straight. And I said to you, mate, why does it do? Why does it go straight? And he said, oh, well, it's the characteristics for 360. It's just what they do. And I'm thinking, flipping hell. I mean, you could have told me. This is your pride and joy. Anyway, I wasn't going fast enough where I went straight into a field. I did manage to sort it out. So we then get going a little bit more. And I think, well, I need to try and stop it going straight if I want to push on. Because you're in the AMG GTR, which is a load faster. And you're a bit in front. And you're starting to pedal on a bit more in the Merc. So I'm going a little bit faster, pushing your car a bit faster, trying to be respectful as well, thinking I don't want to drive it flat out.
You're going to bounce off the red line.
No, I wouldn't do that to anyone's car. I only do that I do it to my cars, but I wouldn't do it to anyone else's. I'm always respectful with people's cars. So I then start holding the brake to stop the understeer as I'm going into corners, which worked.
Trail braking.
Yeah. I know how to do that. Quite good at that.
Well done.
Well done. So I stops the understeer. But then as I stops the understeer, and in a modern car, people that know modern cars, you can dare I say it, take the piss a little bit more with them. So you don't have to completely straighten the wheel and get the car straight before you can start to get on the power, because the understeer's not quite as bad. Then I noticed that I can get the brakes in, and what I'll do is I'll do what I do on a modern car, and as soon as I can see the corner, I'll get on the power. So I done that and it went straight again. And I thought, hold on a minute, you can't do this either. I mean, I am genuinely going to be upside down in a minute, so I can't do it like this. So once I'd figured out how to drive it, and you drive it fairly well, mate. I know you've had it 4 years, but you know, you were pushing on, and it's a tricky car to drive fast, you know, and I wasn't really pushing on like you did, rightly so, because it's not my car. But I can just tell it'd be a tricky car. And the first thing I said when I got out of that car, mate, you need some new brakes, because it will absolutely transform that car. But like you said to me, I always refer to them as piles of shit. but that's my analogy of them, because I can't do what I want to do in a modern car. But you phrased it quite well. It's not a pile of shit. It's just old, and that is basically it. Really, I had a good time in it. The time that I was in it, I wouldn't want to take it on a trip or drive it for a long period of time. I had a nice drive in it for 20 minutes or whatever. I had a good experience. It's just not for me. It's not for the way I want to drive. It doesn't do what I want a car to do.
I went up to Amari Supercars for my first video of the year over on Seen Through Glass.
You did?
And
did you buy that Challenge Stradale?
I didn't buy that Challenge Stradale. So I did a video saying I'm still not buying a Challenge Stradale, which everyone's like, why? And I'm like, oh, I thought I explained it in the video, but apparently not. But yeah, at the moment, it doesn't make sense for me in my life to have the Stradale and the Modena as my two cars. Because, I mean, they're 200 grand Stradales, mate. So, that's all the money. I don't have that money. And if I did, that would be all my money.
Oh, actually, you do have that money. And I tell
what do you want about?
No, I've just remembered something. I think you've done yourself in.
Why?
No, you have, mate, because you had some disposable money come to you for you was going to buy a daily. Remember, you was going to sell the X3. Yeah. Instead of putting that towards your daily budget, you should have upgraded and bought the Challenge.
No, but then to have a Stradale, to have the Stradale and the Modena as my only two cars.
Sell the Modena.
No, that's the whole point. That's what I don't want to do. That's the whole point.
Well, you don't want to sell it for a Challenge Stradale?
No. Oh, I want both, mate, because they're very different experiences.
No, they're not.
They are. Firstly, manual versus F1, hugely different. So don't even try.
You cannot. You're poo-hooing your own car.
No, I'm not poo-hooing. I'm saying they're different. The point. And this week we are joined by Max Chilton. Max, thanks for coming down.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you very much. It's an honour to be on this pod. I'm new to podcasts, but I'm now like hooked to them. So
he's a good-looking lad as well, isn't he?
Oh, calm down, mate.
Oh, calm down. It's not that kind of pod.
This is going in a very weird direction very quickly. I'm glad you're honoured to be on the podcast. I therefore apologise that we're doing it at Gravelwood Car Sales, because as stupendous. Well, yes, thank you. I was going to say, as glorious as this dealership is, it's not exactly that warm or welcoming.
It's not cold today, so it's not that.
I think it's cold.
Yeah, but
it's a bit nippy. I was losing traction on the way here, so it can't be that hot, warm.
What car did you come in today?
I came in a 73 2.7 RS Touring, so probably not up your street. It's probably a bit old for you. But
I've got nowhere to talk to him.
Literally, we were sitting here waiting for Max to arrive, and I heard this engine come through, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds like an old Porsche." And Tony went, "An old Porsche?
Yeah.
What would an old Porsche be doing here?"
And you bring your car today as well, so there's two old cars.
I mean, Sam's is not far off from being a classic now. It's on that. When do we get a classic? I don't really know what the verge is. 20 years? 20 years, is it?
So it's 20 years old this year.
There you go.
Ferrari officially now call it a Classic A car. So I could go and get it stamped.
You're a real dude, because you classic. You daily a classic.
Dude, I'm a real dude.
I don't daily, mate. I sort of occasionally weekly it.
Tony, I do daily that car.
No, you don't.
Let Max think I'm cool. It's my dream in life.
Can we talk about the crash?
Yes, come on, son. When, how,
So
what?
Spain, really weird, the road surfaces sometimes, right? I don't know why they do it, but there wasn't an ounce of rain all week. It was completely bone dry, beautiful weather, hot at night time, So you'd think the tarmac would be hot. We come across these road surfaces. They were like grey road surfaces, like sheet ice. And it wouldn't give you any warning. You just all of a sudden have no grip. Anyway, it was about 10 o'clock in the morning. So we'd been going about an hour. So tyres were like, not really hot, but hot. And we come into to a corner. And luckily I wasn't really pedaling. I like to really fire in and see the out road that I'm going to fall off if I get it wrong. Yeah. And the car went sideways towards the barrier.
Four-wheel drift.
Four-wheel sideways towards the barrier. And I thought, well, that's it. I'm going to crash the car.
Oh, it would have been such a nightmare because then Paul would have had to become the co-host of this podcast.
No, I wouldn't have died.
What a disaster!
No, I wouldn't have died. And to the point, I had my friend with me. My friend come with me on the first week because he wanted to come. And to the point, as I went into the corner, I went, oh, like that, because I knew the car had gone, and I never ever normally react. And I like full on like poo come out.
Was it as bad as Mille Miglia when you thought we were going to bin it in the 360?
Oh, mate, miles worse.
Really?
Yeah, because I was actually going quite fast.
Okay, so what did you do?
I don't know, mate.
Okay, but it just didn't hit the barrier.
No, and I know I probably must have come off the brake, but like full on, I mean, like...
You thought it was out of your control at that point?
No. I thought the car had gone. Full on. Like I rarely flap. I was flapping.
Will you now back off slightly on public roads?
No.
Okay. What is today's greatest car on earth?
The best.
The best.
Not the greatest, the best. And this is very opinionated.
100%.
As in, and you can twist it however you like in terms of parameters and where you want to be. We're going to pick 2 or 3.
Yeah, to discuss was what I was thinking.
Okay.
These aren't necessarily what I truly believe, because if you ask me, I'm going to say 360 Stradale. But fundamentally, it's the ones that I would suggest, because the criteria that I set out for the patrons are current car. This is a car that you can go and buy today new.
Which is, I would have that parameter because that's what I look at.
Yeah, because we could sit here forever going, oh, McLaren F1 or Bugatti Type 35.
Yeah.
This is today's best car in the world. The additional criteria which I set was these points should be considered: exterior design, interior design, driving dynamics and performance, comfort, technology, reliability, ownership and running costs, usability, brand strength, and emotion. So the car that you consider should be scoring as highly in every single one of those sectors as possible.
All right, so the 3 that I've got in mind absolutely tick all them boxes. So we're on the same page at least.
Fine. Okay, so yeah. So look, we'll chat through what we're thinking, and then we're going to review some of these patron suggestions and see if we can all come to some kind of consensus on what we think might be the best
car. Yeah.
So go on, you kick things off, because this was your topic that you put into the WhatsApp group. So give me suggestion number 1.
992 911 Turbo S.
Okay, so we're starting with what I would say is a strong point in terms of value.
In terms of everything, mate.
In terms of a strong point as in that's a very expensive car.
Yeah,
like Bugatti Chiron is also fantastic, but it's a very expensive car. So that I would immediately mark it down for that.
But I'm talking about me, as in.
No, sure.
You're not. I've got a few quid, so I can have one. So you know what I mean?
So okay. Immediately, I'm marking this down for a few reasons. So yes, money. Practicality, yes, we know that the 992 or the 911 is incredibly practical. That's a 4-wheel drive car, 4 seats, boot space is great, fantastic.
The best in its class.
But it's still, those rear seats are fairly unusable.
Not worth it.
Not fairly unusable. Yeah. And as I say, at a 200 grand car?
No.
What is it?
180. 170.
180 option. I know, because I spec one up on
You'd put a lot of... Yeah, but you could probably picked a PTS green and gone... Yeah, of course. and a silly tan interior. But 170 will get you a nice spec. Okay, they're on the internet at 2 years old at 180 and that. But if you're going on list price spec, they're about 170.
Okay, so Why Turbo S and not a GT3 or just a Carrera GTS?
Because the Turbo S just is more than a GTS. It's just more. And it does loads more than a GT car. A GT car is very good at doing what it does, and it is the best at doing what it does, but it doesn't do all round the stuff that a Turbo S does. You know, you can drive a Turbo S in all weathers, all the time, at speed or comfortably. A GT3 or a GT3 RS, GT3 RS especially, is awful on the road. It's terrible.
Well, yes, it can be too stiff, it can be bumpy.
It's terrible, mate.
You know, you've got to have it high up in the revs, get it singing and moving and all these different reasons. But I would argue that I would have a GT3 touring over a Turbo S most days of the week.
And in the real world, the Turbo S is the fastest car that Porsche make in the real world. So if we want to stop the fuel crisis, by the way, the fuel prices going up, don't buy it. Don't buy fuel. Stop buying fuel.
Mate, how are people going to get around? That's a
public
stupid thing to say.
transport.
No, you're being ridiculous now.
Get on a bike. Get on a pedal bike. Get an electric car.
Get on a pedal bike. What if your
get an
commute
electric car?
What if your commute is 200 miles a day? You getting on a pedal bike?
Get an electric car and be patient. Really patient.
What's wrong with you?
No.
What's happened?
No. Because
are you drunk? Is that vodka in there? What's going on?
This will stop the fuel people. It's all supply and demand. Stop the demand.
You're being unrealistic.
No, I'm not.
The UK, people cannot stop filling up their cars. Of course, leisure drives.
Well, they're going to have to. The minutes they can't afford it.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. But we're not going to have to afford to heat our houses or turn our lights on it in a second anyway. But you cannot say to the UK people, if you want to bring prices back down, to stop buying fuel.
But that's how we're going to bring it back down.
No, but it's not possible, mate.
Well, it should be. If you want them to come down, that's what you got to do. Just stop buying it.
No.
Well, you only got to stop buying it. It's short-term pain for long-term gain. Just don't do it for a couple of weeks.
Sure.
They'll all panic.
Okay, yeah.
Bring it down to £1 again.
Good advice. As the audience like to say, you know, you're always right about this kind of stuff, Tony. You just talk straight facts. You talk straight facts. Sam is just not in touch with the world.
Not in the real world, no.
Yeah,
in a bubble of social media.
Great advice from you. Let me just sit on my coffee and think through what you just said. Welcome to the new studio.
Brilliant, mate.
You don't sound that impressed.
Well, because I can see what's behind the camera.
Yes. I will be very honest with you. Behind the camera is a mess. I wanted to update everyone else on my garage. Because lots has changed, mate. We haven't told people. You know, because you're here every week. But, well, firstly, RS6 is gone.
Oh, yeah, it's gone, yeah.
I mean, it's been gone a while.
Oh, thank God you've let that out, because I've told everyone. I know I haven't.
I've been telling everyone off the scenes as well. Sorry, yeah, off record.
No, I haven't told anyone.
RS6 went a while ago. A couple of you maybe noticed it pop up on social media here and there. And we did address it. I said, you know, with the GT3 allocation and with some things changing, I said the RS6 is going to have to go.
You were primed.
But we can address it slightly, because it wasn't just purely a change in cars or availability of cars that changed my mind. I didn't bond with that car at any real point. I think it's a fantastic car if you don't have any other sports cars.
Well, it's not just that, mate. It's a fantastic car if you're not going to do 25,000 miles a year in it as well.
Another point, because financially, that's a big commitment.
Well, for anyone.
You're going to lose a lot of cash.
For anyone, because like when you think, yeah, these people go out and buy SVRs and they daily them, and they buy these RS6s and they daily them, and M5s. But these are normally businessmen that work in an office, and they drive from home to their office 10 miles and back. So they're not really that bothered about the fuel, because, yeah, it's going to cost them another 10 or 20 quid a day than it would in a normal car. But, like, who cares? Probably a tenner a day, whatever. Who cares? But if you're using a car like we use a car and do lots of miles...
Oh, here he is.
I didn't do that. I just rested my hand on
the...
What is this place,
You're back into your old habit of hitting the table and kicking the table. So you've had a couple of weeks of holiday. You've forgotten how to do these podcasts.
It's all gone all wrong.
In case you're listening, Tony knocked over the sign which sits at the top of the table. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you're like us and you do lots and lots of miles, why would you spend 300 quid a week and losing a load of money on depreciation driving that sort of car, when you can have something a load less and more fuel efficient. I mean, you're only going to work, or you're only doing miles, you know?
It's not just that, dude. Like, for me, I didn't need all that kind of car as my daily. Because I say, I'm...
No, because you did need it when you bought it.
Yes. But if I've got the access to other fancy, fast, loud things, it was too much on a day-to-day basis. Yes, it was unbelievably cool walking up to it and getting out of it. And the very odd occasions that I could turn it into some kind of sport mode and have a bit of fun, sure, but it was still heavy and huge.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I was just a bit like, oh, shut up. You know what I mean? Because it has this awful drone. And it was almost like it was so synthetic that even if you accelerated, it was like... It never seemed to actually match up to what I was doing, and the steering feel was a bit loose. But it was just a lot going on when actually... Because it was my daily, I just wanted to get in it and cruise around and schlep around. And you're right, when I got it, it was because I wanted something that I could run as my daily, but could also film and use and feel excited about and get a kick out of. And then, yes, my situation changed, GT3 allocation and something else which we're about to reveal. And I suddenly went, okay, fine. Well, actually, my daily could go back to being something boring. But long story short, if that hadn't have happened, would I have kept that car that much longer? Probably not. I don't think I was ever going to bond with it in the way that maybe I hoped I would or thought I might. So it was always going to go at some point.
Because it is a cool car, the RS6.
Such a cool car.
It's a really cool car. And if you want it for that reason to go work and back, and then at weekends as a weekend car, but you don't do loads of miles during the week, but you want it as a family car, you've got a dog, it is perfect, mate. It really is a real proper bit of kit.